Joining us now, former Secretary of Defense and former CIA Director Leon Panetta. Thank you for joining us, number one. And number two, if you were still at the CIA, what would you be thinking about? What would you be worried about today?
Well, I don't think there's any question, but the biggest challenge right now is to make sure that we have our intelligence capabilities in place to determine exactly what Iran is up to. Because they do have enriched fuel, because they were hit by the United States, there's every reason to be concerned that they might still proceed with putting together some kind of nuclear weapon. So I think the most important challenge right now is to have very good intelligence in place to be able to inform both the United States and Israel as to what Iran is up to.
Let me ask you kind of a devil's advocate question here. Are we sure? How sure can we be that there was devastation, utter and total devastation, as the president is still saying on social media right now, totally destroyed? Everyone knows that he's criticizing what he calls fake news. How do we know that they were totally destroyed? And could it be an indicator that maybe they weren't as damaged as the administration is saying because Iran has only launched this limited retaliation? I know it's early, and I know we're still in the precipice of this, but I wonder, could it be that it's not quite as bad as we think it is, which is why their response is as limited?
Well, Katie, that's very possible because it really does depend on damage assessments. And look, the ability to really get a very accurate damage assessment takes time, and it's going to take the ability to have feet on the ground, have intelligence gathered as to just exactly how much of Fordo and the other targets were destroyed. Right now, very frankly, we don't know the answer to that. Yes, they had a specific hit. I'm sure they did cause tremendous damage because that's the nature of the bomb that was dropped. But as to whether or not it totally destroyed Iran's nuclear capability, that still remains a question mark.
So NBC News reported that Iran was able to get a message to President Trump while he was at the G7 last week, warning that if he got involved in Israel's attack on Iran, that they would activate sleeper cells here in the United States. Do you take that as bluster or as real?
No, we have to be concerned about that. Look, they operate that way, not just in the United States, but around the world. They operate with secret cells. They operate on the basis of terrorism and assassination. That's something that Iran is very capable of and has shown that it can do that in other areas. So I think the United States has to be very concerned about that kind of effort to raise hell here in the United States.
What exactly does a sleeper cell, what is one? What are we talking about?
That kind of cell is, a group of individuals that have made their way into the United States, and they may be at one location or they may be at several locations, but they are communicating with each other to try to determine whether or not they ought to activate and whether or not they ought to, in fact, conduct any kind of terrorist attack. So it's hopefully our intelligence, our law enforcement operations are aware of some of these cells, can track them, be aware of them, and try to be ahead of any effort to try to conduct any kind of attack within the United States.
Are we prepared for this? Is our national security establishment monitoring here in the United States focused enough on this? A lot of the assets have been redirected toward immigration enforcement.
Well, I sure as hell hope so, to be frank. When I was at the CIA, we made it a total focus of our intelligence efforts and our FBI efforts to make sure we were aware of potential threats against the United States. And we were tracking individuals from abroad, those who were trying to enter this country in some way, and keeping track of them. We were able to find a bomber on one plane who was threatening to bring down a plane. We were able to track somebody who went into the New York subway and was thinking about an attack as well. So we had a tremendous amount of capability to try to follow potential terrorists. Whether that's still the case, whether we're continuing to do that, I don't know the answer to that, but I sure as hell hope so.
In speaking to a source that used to be in charge of cybersecurity for the United States, they were suggesting that the worry should be around the grid and whether Iranian hackers will be able to get into grid sites, both for electricity and others within the United States, and create some chaos, low-level chaos, but disruptive chaos.
Well, that's a very real potential. I've said that cyber is the battlefield of the future. It's the battlefield of the present, really, because you can use cyber, putting a sophisticated virus into our computer systems that operate our grid, that operate our security systems, that operate our financial systems, that operate our government systems. And if you destroy those computers using that kind of sophisticated virus, you can virtually paralyze a country. So the potential for a cyber attack is very real. And Iran does have cyber capabilities.
All right, Director Panetta, thank you so much for joining us and giving us so much of your time. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you.